Okay, hello everyone. So, what this is about, as you can see in the title below, is caricatures and how to study. So, I know a lot of people following this channel here might be following because of caricatures or portraits, because a lot of the tutorials that I had posted before is all about that. So, that's what this is kind of the theme that I'll be following. So, I'll be posting these tips every now and then. As much as I can, just to kind of help if you're stuck in a particular area. So if you have any questions on like caricatures or portraits that you might want to see answered in this section of the videos and stuff, just send me a comment on the video, and then I'll probably do a video about it later on. Okay, so let's get into it. So how to study and color. So let's just open a file here. Just a normal A4 size canvas. Yep. Okay, cool. So when you study, you want to be intentional about what you study, and what that means is, for an example, I'll show you practically, because I like showing more than telling. So let's go to this. Let's go to Google. And then let's go to faces. So if you're looking to practice, this is a good thing to do. Just go to Google, go to faces, and then if you go to tools, images, and then tools, usage rights, and go to label for reuse, because that way you won't get in trouble for using someone's image, because these are labeled for reuse, so you can use them for what you want to use them for. We're only using them for practice when we're doing caricatures and stuff. So this one looks like a really funny face. I mean, we'll just take this for now, because it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Save it in downloads. Let's save it there. Open Photoshop again. Let's go to downloads. Refresh. Making faces. So let's put this here. Okay. So when you're, like what I said, when you're studying to make things, when you're studying, especially when it comes to art and stuff, making it intentional means to have a focus for what you want to learn in what you're doing. So for an example, here, what we want to study is color, right? So that's what we want to do. And so the focus is on color. So it doesn't matter if things aren't looking like perfect and whatnot in terms of placement of features and stuff, because that's not what you want to study. What you want to study is color, and trying to get the right types of colors, because sometimes you might think that people are a certain color when they're not. So like for an example, this white man here. So probably what I would do is, first thing is, you have to try and find what's called the local color. So the local color is what the color would normally look like if there was no highlights or no shadows on it. And like from a picture like this, it's hard to try and find it, but normally it'll be in between where the shadow is and just at the edge of the, close to the highlight, like this area here. So that would be close to what the color is like. So I'll pick that. Okay. And so that might be what the local color is. It's pretty close, but yeah. Okay. And let's pick a shadow color. So the shadow in the eye here, as you can see, that's the color. So what we're going to do is pick out these colors. So that's the highlight. So that'll be the lightest part. So now we have a light, medium, and dark, and this is for the the tongue area, that'll be really dark. And this one here is going to be for the dark. So let's say pretty much black. That'll be like our darkest dark. Sorry, this will be our darkest dark where the mouth is. Okay, so we have those colors that we can use to paint from. And so let's just mark where we brought these from. So this one here is from there. This one here is from, it's like there, the local color. This one we brought from there. That, where do we get this one from? See, now I forgot. Yeah, I think this one was from there. Yeah, I think this one was there. Yep. And then this one here is there. This one is there, and that one was there. Okay, so we know where all that stuff is. So when we paint, we're gonna use those colors. Okay. So this will be like the overall thing. So we'll make the shape of the head here. Just exaggerate it. You know, if you're doing caricatures and stuff. So like I said, don't be really fussed about, you know, what it really looks like, or you know, if you're getting proportions wrong or whatever, just kind of do whatever. Okay, so we're just trying to get the colors right. So I forgot to put like a pink one here. Oops. Okay, so that'll be like here. So there's different areas that are gonna have this pink. Okay, there's no need to go into like major specifics. I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just color pick from the image itself. And let's use this for the dark part of the hair, and that's for the light part of the hair. So like I said, be intentional about your study, and what you want to learn from it. So like I said, here we just want to know more about how to use color. So there we go. Okay. There we go, and the darkest dark. So we're getting all these colors in. And then we can, from there, then we can move the colors around. Let's get the color of this tooth here. Okay. So, oh, color of this thing here. So you can see none of these colors are like white. Even see if you look at this black here is black, but there's no white unless I think if you go, even that is pink. So my suggestion is and this is more for kind of a traditional background. Most of the time, you leave the black and the white till the end, because what happens sometimes is the white and the black tend to muddy your colors, and so it kind of So like I said, it makes the paintings look muddy, and that's a general principle. It's not really something specific that you have to follow. But there's always exceptions to the rule depending on what you're doing. But in general, that's normally what's advised. Okay. So what we're gonna do is go for this one. I should go for this one. Okay, that's for the eye area here. And so here you can start blending and then trying to match the colors and so forth. So this is like if you're doing like a caricature type illustration, then you got this time to kind of do these small studies and correct things. You don't have to exactly follow the photo when you're doing when you're taking your time, doing these illustration jobs and stuff. If they're caricature illustrations jobs, like you can do color studies and things, just kind of trying to get the look of it right, because most of the time it doesn't some things, like for an example, if I was to add a slight, like I wanted the shadow areas to be cooler, and I would add a little bit of like blue to it or something. So it's looking a little bit more purplish like that, and you can do that as a just as an artistic choice, so to speak. It's not necessarily like in the painting itself. Okay, so like I said, what you're really concentrating on is getting the right colors for what you want to do. So that's for his eye color. Okay. Dark there. Okay. So normally around the nose area here, there's pinks and stuff like that. So just be aware of those things. So if you're wondering what kind of brush I'm using, it's just a normal chalk brush. It comes by default with Photoshop. I think I might have tweaked it just a little bit in terms of the opacity settings, and maybe a little bit of the flow settings. But other than that, it's pretty much what came with Photoshop. So most of this stuff, like lots of people think, oh, you need this brush to do this thing here. When in all honesty, not really. It's more about because brushes and even Photoshop itself, like all this stuff is just tools, you know. I mean, people were doing paintings and caricatures way before brushes came along. So, I mean, before Photoshop came along. So there were actual brushes. Okay, so keep an eye on the colors that you want and just work at it slowly. So you know you've got most of these colors already in here, so you can just pick from here. So I'm leaving the glasses out for later. And like I said, you know, and I keep repeating this, I know, don't worry about getting everything like, oh, this is not a very awesome caricature. I mean, what I said in the start is concentrate on what you want to learn. So the concentration, what we want to concentrate on here is getting the right colors and the tones of the colors, temperature of the colors, like all that kind of stuff. So this area here, you'll see it's going to be have a lot more pink than this. So if I color picked it and showed you, you can see it does. And even a few spots there might need a bit of that kind of strong. So just a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay. Even this area wants a little bit more pink. So keep these colors in mind, because and store this in your visual bank by actually doing it. The best way to get better at painting is to actually paint, and I stress this whenever I teach people is, you know, you have to draw in order to be able to draw. You can't just watch videos and then think, oh, okay, so this is it. This is all I need to do is just watch videos. But I mean, you can watch as many videos as you want. You're not gonna get better. You need to actually put in the work in and actually draw. Okay, so yeah. Now there's a like when I first started drawing and painting and stuff, I learned a lot of I bought a lot of tutorials, and I also learned a lot from going to art school and things on how to mix colors, and it's actually a huge subject normally that they would teach, and most of the time it has its own topic when it's being taught. So it's not a small thing. That's why I can't cover everything about color in just one tutorial. So this is just basically how to study color. Practically speaking. So do these kind of sketches. I mean, get these colors, get it done, and then after that move to another one once you're happy with the kind of colors that you're getting from your paintings. It doesn't have to be exact, it can be rough. Okay, and then you can understand the color palette. So these are the kind of colors that you're looking for. Okay, so let's color pick this one. So that was approximately the mid-tone. So you can see where this is right there. So let's say for an example, we just color picked white. Okay, so where was that color? Can you remember? Let's color pick it again. You see where this one is? So that's there, and that's it right in the middle. There, right in the middle. So let's go out of there. Let's try and see if we can find it ourselves. And right in the middle. Maybe a little bit higher. And okay. So there. Now that would seem pretty dark, wouldn't it? And it might be a little bit darker than the actual local color is, but it's close. It's pretty close. Normally, traditionally, you're taught to paint from dark to light, or sometimes what I found when I used to do pastel caricatures or pastel portraits is when I would go from dark to light, or even like I tried dark to light, I tried light to dark, I tried those different kind of things, and I found that what I found was that it was muddying a lot of the colors that I was putting down later on. Because most of these lightened colors, they would put other colors together, and so to form that color, and maybe there was a lot of colors. So when you put a different color again on top of that one, all these colors are mixing together. So what I would do is start off with more pure colors. So colors that might only have two different colors mixed together, or even is a so-called like it's yeah, not a very big mixture of colors. So like something like this one here is what I would probably start off with, and then from there I would go lighter in tone using the pastels, and then I would go darker in tone using the pastels where it needs to be dark, so that the other areas that are generally the same, they won't get muddied. The colors won't get muddied, and that's what I found worked well for for pastels. So that's basically how you would do it. So let me put this in a folder. Yeah, and then you just keep doing that. So that's one practice gone, and you need to just relax. Just don't rush it. What you're trying to learn is color, so learn about color. Don't worry about getting everything exact. So that's a white person. You can look for a darker skinned person like this. Save it to downloads, and then let's bring it into Photoshop. Oops. Let me refresh this. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and this will be another color study, because you might not realize that the color you think it is probably not what it actually is. So the local color would be, I would say, somewhere around there. Okay, so that's the local color. That's the shadow. That's the highlight, which is purple, like a grayish purple, because it seems like the highlights here are a little bit cooler. And this is something like a mid-tone, so in between this. And that's another mid-tone there. Okay, between those two. And this is the other one of the highlights. Let's see the brightest bright that we can get. So that's the brightest bright on the face, which is close. Let's see the tone of the color. So you can see here the tone of the colors are almost the same tone. So this one's just brighter by, this one here is brighter by just a little bit. Yeah, and then do the same thing again. Do a quick study. Just on placing colors down and just using the colors to get something recognizable. You don't have to use a line for this. I normally don't go too close to the black when I get started with portraits or caricatures. Okay. Um, Sorry, I'm not. keep on, I get really focused sometimes when I'm drawing, and I forget that I'm actually making a video. Okay, so that's that. Let's go for the darks. Put those in. Okay. Yeah. Yep. As I thought, no one's watching, which is fine. The reason why I'm doing these live streams is because sorry. The reason why I'm recording these as live streams is because it's much easier for me to produce these videos. Because I don't want to be spending hours doing all this editing and things like that. Yeah, and I can teach these quicker, and you can get what you need, and don't use what you don't want to use. Okay, so let's go for the lighter ones. So this will start getting lighter on this side. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if there's any kind of questions that you want answered, just ask in the comments below, and I'll find the time sometime to do a video about it. Unless, of course, unless I've done a video about it already, then I'll just give you a link to the place where you can find it on either on my channel, or if someone else has done it, maybe. And I think that you know, the video is very concise, and like it'll benefit you. Then I'll just give you the link to their video. Okay. So later on, I'll cover a few things about like I'll go more into depth about particular colors and how to use them, and, you know, cast shadows and ambient light, and all the technical stuff. But for now, you know, just do these to do your studies and whatnot. Okay, so I'll just leave it at there. I have a few other things I need to do today, so I'll just leave that there for now. But that's basically how you would go on, and you can do the eyes. Just color pick them, put the colors on the side, and a good thing to do is what you can do is create swatches using these. So you can go to your swatches, and then you can go to reset swatches if you want. And so all you need to do is pick a color and go to that, name it, name what the color it is, press OK, and then just keep doing that. Just color pick, put new one, okay, that one, okay, and then add that to your palette, to your swatches there, so that you can so you can use them later on for doing caricatures, maybe that from your imagination. So this will be useful. And once you get used to using these colors, you'll know, like you won't exactly need to be picking from those swatches all the time, but it's always a safe bet to do so. You'll basically know the color that you want, you know, for the local color, depending on the art style and what you want to paint, and the people that you want to paint, depending on the lighting situations, in order to, you know, create a more lifelike, in terms of color, caricature. Well, hope this was helpful. So leave a comment in the description. Like the video if you learned something, and leave any suggestions for future videos that you might want to see. I think that's all I have. Well, for now, I'll see you in the next live stream. Ciao.